Jack Reacher, a former U.S. Army military policeman, visits a small and peaceful town, Margrave, and immediately gets arrested on suspicion of murder. Chief Detective Finley and Roscoe Conklin start their investigation and visit a man named Paul Hubble, who acts suspiciously and instantly takes the blame for the murder. Although he obviously didn't do anything, they arrest him too. Reacher and Hubble are sent to jail, where Hubble admits he's been forced to take the blame for this crime. The people responsible have an illegal financial scheme, and they threaten to kill Hubble to make him do whatever they said. In jail, a group of prisoners attack Reacher and Hubble, but Jack is a very hard nut to crack. He realizes that their attack wasn't an accident, but just following someone's order. Thanks to Roscoe, the guys are free to go in the morning. Reacher digs into the town's history and finds out about a man named Kleiner, who moved there 5 years ago, set up his huge company, and poured money into Margrave. His son KJ quickly finds Reacher and warns him to watch his back. Finley takes Jack to the morgue, and Reacher discovers that the victim is his own brother Joe. He decides to stay in Margrave, work with the police, and use his unique strength and intellect to find the real killers. Reacher and Roscoe arrive at Hubble's house, but his wife Charlie tells them she doesn't know where Paul is. In the morning, another death shakes Margrave. The next victim is a corrupt police chief. Reacher deduces that Hubble might be on the run or deceased as well. At the town meeting, Margrave's mayor, Teal, appoints himself as the new chief of police, and Kleiner supports him. With Teal's nonsensical theories and meaningless tasks for the police officers, it appears he's one of the major illicit figures in the town. Finley calls his old friend Picard and asks him to help hide Charlie and her kids in a safe house. Reacher survives another attack by a couple of mercenaries. He decides to spend the night with Roscoe in a motel. When they return to Roscoe's place the next morning, they notice that someone has broken into her house and left a threatening message. Reacher needs a gun, so Roscoe gives him her family's pistol left by her foster father Gray. They rush to meet Finley, who tells them about a new victim, a truck delivery driver working for Kleiner. Jack receives a call from his brother's girlfriend, Molly. She tells him that Joe was actually the director of the Office of Investigations, and he was in charge of a significant anti-counterfeiting department. In Margrave, he was investigating a case connected with South America. Molly promises Reacher to deliver all the documents on that case. Jack feels that Kleiner is the mastermind behind this chain of deaths. However, Kleiner claims he has nothing to do with the murders and takes offense to Finley and Reacher's questioning. He hints that they are better off stopping the investigation, but Finley isn't ready to give up yet. KJ shows up and talks to Roscoe, calling out Reacher for being a murderer of a group of civilians in Baghdad. Meanwhile, a couple of South American men ambush Jack, but he shoots the pair dead. In the trunk of their car, he finds another dead body belonging to a prison guard, Spivey, who was responsible for the assault on Reacher and Hubble when they were in jail. Later, Roscoe confronts Jack about his past, and he tells her the truth about Baghdad. He reveals that he killed a group of adults who were abusing children. Roscoe believes that Reacher is a noble and trustworthy man. They grow closer and make love. Jack deduces that Kleiner has a counterfeiting business and is cooperating with someone in South America. After Roscoe and Reacher find Joe's notes concerning the case, they are attacked by another pair of gunmen. They manage to fight back and survive, but Roscoe isn't happy about Jack's protection. She is an independent woman and can stand up for herself. Together with Finley, they review Joe's notes and find some important clues for the case. Reacher calls Frances Neagley, his friend from the past, and asks for her assistance. Molly arrives with the files Jack needs, but someone kills her and steals the files before Reacher finds her. To add fuel to the fire, KJ writes an offensive word on Roscoe's car, and Jack heads to a diner to punish him for what he did. Kleiner intervenes and stops their fight. Teal isn't pleased with Roscoe and Finley delving into the situation and fires Roscoe. Reacher suggests that she search for some clues in her father's belongings. Consequently, they locate a wealth of materials on Kleiner and his illegal business. It turns out that Gray's death wasn't a suicide after all. Roscoe conducts some research and discovers that he was killed by Teal. She rushes to the police station, attacks Teal, and finds herself in significant trouble. She needs to keep a low profile for a while, so she takes over looking after Charlie and the kids at Picard's place. Neagley arrives in town and joins Reacher in his investigation. Together, they fall into a trap when they agree to cooperate with one of the corrupt officers who tries to kill them. While they fight for their lives, Finley breaks into Kleiner's office and finds him dead. Reacher and Finley decide to spy on Kleiner's farm and observe his nephew preparing for another illegal delivery. The safe house is compromised, so Roscoe has to protect Charlie and her daughters. Later, Charlie confesses to Roscoe that she knew about Hubbell's involvement in Kleiner's illegal business. Kleiner threatened him to force him to work in his financial scheme. Reacher calls Professor Castillo, who has been collaborating with Joe on the counterfeiting case. The hitmen are already after her, so Jack promises to help her stay alive. Thanks to her, he deduces that Kleiner was producing the fake money in Margrave and then shipping it out to Venezuela to one of his major clients. After meeting with Castillo, Reacher is ambushed once again. A double murder occurs in Margrave. Someone kills Hubbell's relatives, and it appears that this person was torturing the couple to obtain information about Hubbell. Reacher breaks into Hubbell's house when a group led by Kleiner's nephew shows up to kill him. After a tense altercation, Jack defeats all of them. He also realizes that Kleiner used animal feed to create fake money. Reacher continues his search and finds himself in a trap with KJ, Teal, and Picard all pointing guns at Finley. It's revealed that KJ was actually the one pulling the strings. He even killed his own father to run his business and keep working with South Americans. Now, KJ, Teal, and Picard hold Roscoe, Charlie, and her kids hostage, and KJ threatens to kill them unless Hubbell is brought back to him. With Picard ordered to watch Reacher's every move, KJ instructs him to locate Hubbell, but Jack outsmarts Picard and finds Paul himself. Together, they rescue Finley. Neagley joins the trio, and they devise a plan to liberate the kids, Charlie, and Roscoe from Kleiner's warehouse. Their plan begins with starting a fire to distract all the goons inside. Hubbell's task is to save the kids, while Reacher, Finley, and Neagley aim to neutralize as many guards as possible. Jack also frees Roscoe and Charlie, enabling Roscoe to join his team. The final confrontation is the most dangerous. Finley eliminates Picard, and Roscoe gets rid of Teal. Reacher confronts KJ and defeats him, leaving KJ burning to death. Jack manages to leave the warehouse before it explodes and shares a kiss with Roscoe. Now, everything is over. With all the bad guys gone, Reacher decides to leave Margrave. It's difficult for him to part ways with Roscoe, but she understands his decision and accepts his life choice. In turn, she plans to rebuild the town and give it a fresh start. Finley is also departing from Margrave. He intends to return to Boston and build his career there. Just before Reacher leaves town, he visits the spot where Joe died and buries his medal as a symbolic gesture of letting go of the past and moving forward.